This is day 1204 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. In fact, sponsor on share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Please call me directly. Very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Yeridea, Siman Kuf Chaf Aleph, Sif Chafei, Talam Aleph. Chafei. Davi Yadua. It's well known. The Libun Klicheres pottery doesn't work to do kashing or to make it white hot. If you put coals inside it, also if you made it white hot in an oven full of coals, ain't low takon. All you can do is break it. Unless you put it back into the kiln in which you at a temperature at which it would be made. So simbo kaderos, which they make the pottery. That's then basically like a new pot. The tanur in the oven, I forgot the gankin panim chadashos bolokan. Even though an oven, which is made of pot, which is not as hot as a kiln, but still, well, I guess it could be as hot as a kiln, right? So why did you say? Also, panim chadashos bolokan. Mikom gazu chazal. Maybe you'll be concerned that they won't burst. But the Otiyan Kadam Kolo Libun are going to take them out before the Libun is complete. But by the kilns, it's not relevant. The came doesn't make some essay go to you put them such a huge conflagration. Where they heat up a new pots. The loch is certainly not going to try and save it at the expense of not being kosher. But the shama libun gam below shiyam and esha go also there. Don't leave it there to me for libun because since the heat is so overwhelming, it gets immediately hot enough. The Torah Chaim Siman Tam from the Aleph who base Yitzis Shama Sifra before they talk about the Yeshli Shnikas Kuvia. There's a vessel called a kuvia. The Moel has section of the name where you can make a fire inside it to kasher. Even though normally it is the fire goes outside this pot or container, whatever it is. Also it says there the that if you have a metal pot, it's good enough to heat it up on the inside. The makos lo shach lo shoshem apake. By metal, we're not concerned that it might burst. Chaf 5. It writes. About Easter says he learned was not afraid of great people. I mean that even a klicheres pottery vessel in a pot of pottery pot of pottery, the labas yoma, which is beyond 24 hours after its last use, came to Yisur the Rabbanon. It's only the Rabbanon. Because it's ben yoyba magila shows probably vidayo. It's enough to kasha 3 times, and that suffices. Vevi Rayim in Yerushalayim is evidence. Yerushalayim chekos about Rashba soon Barb, and he concludes the efsha shel itira elabisur shel livrei. Perhaps they only make a bite. It's the Rabbanon. Shel ikam which is no grounding in the Raisa. Kichuma v'chal b'chutzlaim. So it's chuma and chala outside Eretz Yisrael. Bizman as in our day and age. Claim b'shleim, and so too if these things are cooked. Avashari some other prohibitions shel livreihem. Even the Rabbanos, he says, besides these, they were stringent them as if they're the Raisa. And it is appropriate to take that into account and not to be lenient. Therefore, this halacha is not brought down here except in Shulchan Aruch. It's brought down in Siman Kuf Gimel in terms of Bishul Akum. But Rashba speaks about extensively because he says the Indian Dina near low Iker. He seems to Rashba the primary halacha is the Holy Spirit Rabbanan Mutzachai Gamlin. Only any of the Rabbanan you can't kasher it this way. It is possible to kasher klicheres. Can't kasher Rashi Tzarfasi Zal Ayin Sham. That's what everything Rashi writes. But Tula Visos Bar the Tula does not bring the end of the Rashba. Because you should not be lenient in practice. Of course, you don't want to violate the words of Torah and Shulchan Aruch. But there's an astonishing question here. But in Mishram Pesachim it says Cain, the similar thing, chametz. The chametz vayne shlichim in Torah. It says by chametz over there that you can rely on being machshir. Kli cheres and chametz is only the rice. What are we talking about? Zeshon Yusham Yisham. Yusham says Rabbi Shem Rav Kadesh Bishabah Moda, which is a form of chametz. But lo yivashabah milsamin el achar Pesach. You shouldn't cook that same thing until after Pesach. I mean acher, but if it's you're cooking something else in it, mutter, it's okay. But as long as you cook 3 different neutral dishes in the interim. And the Farish Yerushalmi has difficulty with this. It doesn't have difficulty. He makes the point. That's what we allowed the metal pots in our country. Pricisa tep. That is. Saying kulan barzel or metal. But on the inside they have a little bit of a coating. Lavan, tiach lavan, white coating. But ain't doing musha cheres or shofar. You don't know if that coating is pottery or lead. People in charge of this activity, they keep it a secret. The people make this stuff. And all the pots in the country, ben shel basar, ben shel chalav, evidently all the pots where the orphans live, whether they're flesh or milk, they're all made. Hakomi means they're from this type. And every day, meat spills into milk, milk spills into meat. To do libun is a great anguish and great loss. Because you need to do libun, you need to be very habituated to the process. Well, actually, some years means you have to know a lot. But I say Rav, and there's a potential great loss only in Bedamim Yakarim. The spots are very expensive. Many of them burst from trying to do libun on them. But v'tarnum, we were matir, says Arukh HaShulchan. Like Ilam Shalosh Pamim, to do our goal 3 times. Achar me'es le'es, once, then 24 hours another, then 24 hours another. No, that's what he means. After it's 24 hours since the last usage. The came and eat the Rasha Tzarfati Datam Noita Lahakil Gamre. Av Shelcharis Gamre, since they're lenient even with something which is totally Klicharis. Certainly this which is perhaps a little bit of Klicharis on the inside. About Rakatur Vashulchan Chashul Chumra Zu. Only to Shulchan concerns the Chumra. Do Layu Shami Chumas Loitir El B'Dav Shein Loikim Yatera. Perhaps Yushami and Chumas only make something which is not primarily from the Torah. Shai Psalim before the Chol Yisrael Mutter Commercial Salim from the Yushai Psalim it's Mutter in all Yisrael. Can you eat a Chalil Leno avoid the Ibrahim? So if shown to violate their words, you come a suffix to Cheres or Machlos. You have a suffix, it's the same Mitzias, but it might be a suffix it didn't because you can't find out. Like Livuri. You don't know if the coating inside is pottery or metal. That's like their Vaishmatachos, and the pot itself is definitely metal. Pshita Sheesh, Laukel Badin, Barur Kazet. The times you can lean in this clear halacha, and to conserve the money of the Jewish people. There's a little bit of evidence that this coating is metal and not pottery. Because the Daniel, the Pastor Daniel says, "V'lo lahol heaven vacant dona im da." They should not be connected to each other. Kadei parzul let me say. Kadei parzul let me say. No, something else. No, I don't remember who he's talking about. 2 people. So you shouldn't be together. Like metal doesn't go together with pot shards. Makes pot shards, doesn't go with them. It's interesting. It's not so we see that metal with pottery. It's very very unlikely that they're going to get connected together and where it's going to spread this. well, actually, it says "Kedei Paizu Lomisai Mechatzboi," means ways terminate means that um, they don't mix. You can't make a keli which where they both adhere to each other. Um, they don't make a good bond. So therefore, it's more likely that the coating inside is tin. Besides this, yesh raya eater. Eminence of the eater, mimash kosavnu b'sim and kuf yav siv gimel ayin sham heitev. See there. Kav ches. K'yachshel shosaki b'shim b'kol kelim. Had a kasher with a knife is different than all other vessels. The Nechlik Beir Rabbi Seinu, and our rabbis argue about it. The Mishnah Shanino, Mishnah Tashpod, a skewer, Vaskola, a grill, Malavin, and Ba'ur. You make them white hot in the fire. A sakin shafa, the knife you scrub. You turn its tar. Klamar me mashkisa be'em mishkezes. So here's what does scrubbing here mean? Not scrubbing. It means you grind it with a grindstone. The pasha lishtamash, it sounds like the zeh lishtamish or roseach. That's even using it hot. Like that's using a skewer and a grill for. Mashalon, the second yesh od hechsher hashchaza. So it's going to tell you that there's another hechsher by knife, which is to grind it. That it says in the Gemara that that you stick it in a knife 3 times, 10 times. In order to eat cold, look at Mishnah saying it's not going on our Mishnah. Eluina is natural. It's something else that when you pound it into tough ground, it cleanses it. It's going to tell us that to use it with cold, it's not enough to just rinse it off. The shari came like other kalim. El truck needs a bakarka. You have to stick into the ground. Because since the knife creates pressure when it cuts, they're going to absorb more, even if it's cold. So therefore, they're machmin it. It needs a scrubbing phenomenon of being stuck in the ground. The Mishnah Hulu Roseach. The hechsher of the Mishnah. I guess our Mishnah is for things which are boiling. Who say we came Pirush Rambam Rab Pirush Mishnayis. The Zeh showing this. It says shafa. You scrub it. No, I saw, and you stick it. Esupon your karka 10 times in the ground with chulit. But okabot sonein. You can use a cold or mashchiz. Okay, but mashchiz shala. Or you grind it with its grindstone. But okabot feel roast and then you use it for hot. Okay, so actually Mishnah, when he said have a hechsher Mishnah l'roseach, that it says a grindstone. That's only if it was used for hot. If you want to use a grindstone, then you can do this thing. We're talking about here, which is the lost my train of thought. Either by knife, you can use a grindstone to use it for cold, or use it for cold. I use it for hot. This knife. No, that's not it. If you want to use it for cold, you stick it in the ground 10 times. If you want to use it for hot, this knife, then you have to grind it. Okay, and they can even hot with it. This is what Ram writes in Shono. Quote, okay, somebody buys a knife from a non-Jew. You make it white hot in the fire, or you grind it in its mill. It's a good knife. It doesn't make nicks. It's enough that you can stick it in the hard ground 10 times. Eats with it cold. It had scratches or indentations. Or was very nice. It was, I guess, the shchita knife is also included here. Milabna o mashchiza kula. You have to do libun and hashchaza on all of it. Hakan l'shono. That's what's difficult here. Okay, let's see. Next week. I have a Rashi's out. But places special hasn't done masakin shafa to clean it. That's for cold. Mishum the rois nikla ba koidem, because for hot it's including what was the explained previously. By the color kashring libun. For mishum it's so named chamor. I mean sharaken just because if for cold it's more severe than the kalim. The time duchas the sakina because of the pressure of the knife. It says this Bryce then. That's why it says that um, you need to have needs of bakarka. Gemara see the Gemara Sifa. Tzagam is any to bakarka yud palmim. Even for cold. And Arukh HaShulchan asked this. And they bemas davar tamu. It's astonishing. That's real. But so named otik levarish chaza. He says it's not separate from hashchaza. It's together with hashchaza. You have to grind it and stick it in the ground. Therefore, some really say that kavanah hashchaza onita, either or, not both. That's a tour. It's a big time because it's like we show big time, large or small. In Polish damage, if you come to use it, bitzonain in cold, no, so you stick in the ground 10 times. Oh, shovim mashchezes, or you grind it on the grindstone. Like Oshono. Ava Rashi Kosa Vizelishon. Rashi writes, no, I saw if you stick in the ground, api shafa, even though you scrubbed it. It doesn't say you should pish bishop beged semer, befasha beged semer. You can scrub it against a woolen garment, which is not smooth. Mizgab mi aber shamunis, and it takes away the mi aber. Me'avar. Me'avar shamunis, it takes away the fat. Akasha beard barb when he says kamelon kashli. Simple echashad tzirkut tzveina odav alvan shchaza. How can you carve the coal? Something besides grinding. Birsh achal safa. Shafa that says shafa something else. Do shipshuv ba'alma, not grinding. Okay, so there's a gam that eats a bagara. Therefore, that cursory cleansing also requires sticking in the ground. Lamed Aleph. V'nei Rabbeinu b'seis of Ziv Zayin. Rabbeinu says he's saying Pasuk Ram is Oshono. He says Ram Saki Yoshan, a old knife and come and cut them. And whether large or small, Haniko which is purchased from a non-Jew. He buys time to 20 views in the cold. He made bagumus if there's no holes, no so that's our problem. You have to stick it 10 times the hard ground. So B'chol Nitza, Tia B'karka Kasha, and each and every plunging a knife has to be in hard ground. If you learn out some Makom Shanatz Nitzacher, so you should have been sticking it somewhere you're ready to stuck it. So you feel Lachabo Dav Chorek it's known Sagi B'achi, and even to wash in something sharp, which is like radish or like radishes, and that's enough. But to use it permanently also, it's no different than any other keli where our custom is, even if it's technically mutter, to do a hagola anywhere. Anyway, for cold. Yesh gumos that has holes, or shawatz lachtobo chamin, or cut something hot with this knife, or lishchopa, or to shechtet melabna, you have to make it white hot, or mashchizna shchezah shonapachim, or you smooth it with the blacksmith smoother, the plane. A tape al panei kula. You guys requires the whole thing for you. That's the Rambam. It's like the Rambam. Nishon the Ibrahim kula. So it comes out kula. Shchaza mahani kalibun. Grinding works like libun. Magam chumer and also chumer the dafka libun. Only works with Liban. Agol Lamahani. I feel Sakin Cotton. Agol doesn't work even by a small knife. The only time to accept that Sakin Mashpadim Malam rewards doesn't accept that the knives and grills you make them hot in the fire. You should go and go to a cotton. Send the between a hot, large one and smoker. Um, small skewer. Uh, Mishun Fami Derek Lafok Bahem Bus Bus Agabi they call him. I don't know. I guess to maybe they put that makes it more hot, and therefore it's more. Okay, we'll see tomorrow how he concludes this.